Hi, this is Boris. Welcome to Sketchman Draws. I just wanted to let you know about our new art magazine online. And this is our blog for BKK UNZINE. And the submission is open for our next issue. So issue 3 will be released in 1st of October, and the submissions will end 20th of October. So the link to subscribe and the link to this blog are in the description of this video, and will be in the description of for any videos. So just wanted to show you the magazine archive. We have done first issue 1 and issue 2. Issue 2 was landscape, so each month there will be a different theme. Now let's talk about how to draw feet. So I've chosen these pictures, which are drawings, which are really easy to understand. And so if you really look at here, I've put some pictures of, I don't know what their names are, but I've just called them pipe connectors. And for me, it's really easy to understand and draw something when you can visualize it. So that's why I explain using these simple objects that you will be able to see. So for example, if I take this foot and I try to break it down into simple parts that we'll be able to draw in different angles, what we can do is I'll reduce the opacity and then just go over it as I do with many other parts if you have watched my videos. And so for example, the bottom part of the foot will be a cylinder. So I'll just call that number 1, and for the entire part I'll just try to break it down into simple shapes. So for example here, this is where the pipe connector will become useful. So everybody's foot is different. Okay, so now if you have, let's say, a pipe connector that looks like this, okay, so if you can picture that, you can picture, for example, like sort of stepping on it and then making it flat. Okay, so imagine you make it flat, so then it takes the shape of the foot. And of course, for the toe area, we'll create this kind of curved shape that we will go in detail in a moment. So we will look at in detail how to draw each one of these parts in different angles, and then at the end we'll put all these together and draw a foot, so that you get the whole idea of how to simplify in simple shapes, and of course how to apply to a reference drawing and how to draw feet. So the first one, the thing about cylinders is that, especially here where we are going to talk about 3 angles, just like we did with the video on the head, on how to draw the head, which is one looking like straight at us, right? And so one looking on the either side, and then so before we do that, I'll just show you like what I mean by the 3 different shapes. So here, for example, I drew like cylinder, and here I'm just drawing really quickly just to show you that pipe connector shape that I think I explained to you. And it might be a little bit confusing because, you know, like, why do you need that cylinder if you can do this pipe connector shape? Which is true, like we can also use that, but I don't know, I think you can also simplify it. I mean, if you're just drawing the foot, you can just go with that pipe connector shape. And of course, but this shape is easy to, you know, turn around and imagine what it would look like from different angles. But that's not actually going to help us draw the foot. So now we have to, like, again, like I said, step on that area and just like sort of. So if you like, for example, if you finish like a toilet paper roll, like if you like, there's a like a cardboard like in the middle, right? Like that's. So if you take that and you just like push on it at the end edge, like it will become flat. So that's what I mean when I say that. So that's basically the second basic form that you need to know. And the last one for the toes, like for example, if you, it's basically follow this structure, like it goes from the big toe to the small ones. Yeah, just making sure that I'm drawing only 5 toes there. But that's basically the simple way how we are going to break down the toes. Okay. So, and also, like when I'm teaching you a shape, I mean, yes, it's good to draw a shape. Like if you're drawing a cartoon character, like 2D cartoon character, you could like just draw the 2D shapes. But here, you have to imagine like 3Ds because, well, we are trying to draw from 3D objects, right? Like for example, if you look at those drawings, I mean, yes, they are simple drawings, but they're like in 3 dimension. So when and like and I think I've talked about this many times, which is like it's easy to go from 2D to 3D, which is basically like you add another 2D shape on the other side and connect it. Like like for example, a cube is basically a 3D version of a square. So you put a square and then another square on the other side, and you connect it, and you have a cube, right? So same thing here, like so that so you can get that understand the 3D, and we're keeping it really simple because we want to be able to imagine this in different angles, and we want to be able to break it down really quickly so that we have a simple approach to drawing feet. Okay, so this is the point where we draw just like we did with the head, the, the feet from different angle, or foot from different angle, because um, so one facing us and the two facing uh, the sides, left hand and right hand side. And it's so once you've, again, this is not this is just the way I would draw it. So of course, like try it. You will always find, like when like practice will always give you an insight on how to draw better, or draw it in your way, a body part, right? Like so here for the thing with the cylinder, like here is that no matter how, like at least here, like from this angle that we are talking about, like the outline will remain the same, right? Like for example, if you take a can of beans, you put it on the table, and for example, let's say the star is the label of the brand of that can of beans, and if you just turn it or to the left or to the right, the outline of the form, the outline of the cylinder will remain the same. So I'm just drawing that just to show you that uh, these shapes are turned to the opposite sides. Again, I don't know. I always think it's easier to approach drawing, and it's less intimidating if you sort of make it more relatable for people, and you sort of make them visualize by making reference to like objects that you might see around you. So yeah, that's why at least that's the way I remember. Like I could easily remember like how to draw something. And also I do comics and cartoons, and it really depends the level of detail and the level of realism you're going for. So here for the pipe, that pipe connector design, the form there. Of course, like that top part should be, of course, smaller than the lower length. So I'm doing the same thing. So I will do this like each time, but I mean, of course, when you're drawing, you can directly go to this flattened shape, flattened form of this pipe connector. So I'm just showing you like the way I think, like the process to get there. So of course, once you've drawn this side, like facing to our left, it's easy to figure out like what it will look like from if it was facing the other side, right hand side, because it will be the symmetrical opposite, right? So yeah, as you can see, I did that again there. So this might be the difficult angle because a lot of people get this wrong, and actually I even was like struggling to actually how to explain this. And because I can draw it without like breaking it down, but like how can I break it down and teach it? So for example, if you look at a cylinder, like especially the second part that is coming towards you, like if you draw a cylinder, it will be in perspective, which means like the part that is closer to you will be appear bigger than the part that is on the other side. So same thing applies here. So but now again, I will do the same thing, which is like flatten that form, and but the width. So we maintain the width, right? Like we just flatten it, but we maintain the width. So it sort of looks like this. So let me reduce that so that I can have more space to draw the part for the toes. So if I have to explain this shape, I was going to compare it to a harp. But like for example, if you look down to your feet, like for example, like the right hand feet, like so on the right hand, your right feet, sorry, your right foot, the big toe will be on the left hand side. Of course, on your left foot, the big toe will be on your right hand side, right? So just keeping that in mind. Um, and again, keeping in mind that the form, you have to imagine it in a 3D form. So for this side, of course, it will be laid flat. So we will see a part of that curve, but we will not really clearly see what the curve looks like. So now, as usual, if you figure out like what it looks on this side, you can just like basically invert it and flip it, and you get the other side. So on the right hand, it will. So that's how it will look like if it was turning the other side. Um, you might think, I think the simple way to think about it is that like just drawing a shoe and then basically breaking down the shoe into different parts. So for the middle one, of course, we will be able to see the curve, and that will be really important to give that realism, because I mean, if you're drawing a cartoon foot, you can just put like fingers that can just make, and people will understand that it's a foot. But if you're going for a little bit more realism and trying to understand the real structure, the anatomy of the foot, you need to like draw that curve. So that's the third shape, right? So now, just I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you is I'm going to try to put these together, because we kind of Frankenstein it, right? And we try to do the different parts, and now we're going to just put together so that just to show you that all these things fit together. Right? So, for example, that of course I need to make that a little bit bigger to fit the foot. And I remember when I did this in the workshop, I was just saying that it looked like that. For example, Wonder Woman is wearing bracelets which has stars in it. It looks like someone is wearing boots with stars on. So I do the same thing here. So yeah, again, afterwards for the details, for the lens, the proportions, it will really depend. Like by practicing, by looking at different foot will be crucial, because some people have small feet, some people have big feet, some people have thick, thin, yeah, so yeah, it really depends on the type of foot that you're trying to draw. If you're trying to draw from imagination, well, that also, like, you need to keep in mind, like, what is the character like? Like, is the character like someone muscular who moves a lot, so that his foot may be a little bit strong? And are you drawing someone who has more flesh and fat in their legs, so that you don't get that definition of those muscles and so on. So here we come back to the initial drawings, so that I can show you how you can apply what you have learned about the different simplification and the different forms, and how can we put all this together to like basically draw. So here I'm just drawing over it just so quickly, just to show you like how this could be applied here. So we start with a cylinder, and I'm trying to follow that curvature of that leg that is in the drawing. We're not going to go into too much detail, but I just wanted to put those ankle bones there just to suggest that to give it a little bit more realism, I guess, but still keeping simple. Like, and again, I flattened that shape and drawing the that kind of curved shape for the toes. So for example, if you're drawing traditionally, there's maybe you can do these construction lines in pencils and then paint over them, or do pencils and then ink and then erase the pencils. I don't know, as you can see, I'm just like doing very blocky shapes just to basically get to the point, like just to explain that this is all you need to basically portray believable foot. And it's not very cartoony. I mean, you can go in and sculpt in the details to make it look more real. But yeah, we're just going to stop here for now. Again, thank you for watching. Please leave any questions or comments you might have. And if you have any requests for future videos, please let me know. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and like this and share this video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the art magazine. And if you're an artist, you can submit your artwork for the next issue. So until next time, this is Boris for Sketchman Draws, signing off.